I think I bring like a sort of different type of like spirit to the team, and I do work hard, you know. It's not just a sport, it has to be a lifestyle.
For a lot of people, sports are an enjoyable hobby. They offer a unique opportunity to get some exercise, learn teamwork, build friendships, lift spirits, and even work off some stress. For kids, it's the perfect after-school activity, and many parents encourage their kids to get involved in a sport that interests them. Little League and Pee Wee football teams can be found in every town, as well as dance schools, skating rinks, soccer fields, and public pools. The last few decades have even led to the soccer mom, the mom or dad who ferries their kids around from activity to activity, keeping their kids active. Some kids grow out of it and develop other interests. Some kids keep playing casually with their friends or even for their schools, but don't take it that seriously. But for some other kids, sports become a way of life. They eat, sleep, and breathe athletics. If they're not at a practice, they're at a game. If they're not at a game, they're in the gym. Or they're watching sports, thinking about them, or maybe even dreaming about them. For Jordan Serrano, sports have become a way of life. From the time he was a toddler playing t-ball, Jordan has given sports everything he has. Whether he's playing baseball, basketball, track, or football, he's always wanted to be out on the field, a part of the team, right in the middle of the action. Jordan embodies the truest spirit of an athlete and hopes to stay involved in sports in one way or another for the rest of his life.
I am Jordan Serrano, I'm 15 years old. From the time I was young, around 4 years old, my father signed me up for t-ball. And from then I tried other sports like basketball and eventually football. Baseball was always my favorite. I stopped playing basketball in 8th grade. It just didn't interest me anymore. Baseball is something that's just been in my family for as long as I can remember, you know. That's what was my father's favorite sport, and I just always grew up around it, and that's how all my friends today, my best friends, are from playing baseball. For the most part, for the majority of my teammates, I'm very close with them. You know, I will hang out with them even in school or even outside of school. You know, I'll talk to them, you know, make conversation, but yeah, my 5 best friends are on my baseball team. It gives like real good chemistry when you're playing. You understand each other, what you like and dislike, and also helps like evaluate the game.
My name is Agustin Quiles. I'm the baseball coach here at Nazareth. Jordan actually played with my son when they were younger on the outside league. He came in, I've coached him for the last 2 years. He came in, started playing for us last year. Played center field for the most part.
Baseball, I was around it my whole life, and it has like sentimental value, not just something I just go out and put on cleats, you know. It's something I actually care about, and I love watching it, playing it, everything about the sport. Almost every week, you know, when I go see my father, we'll go and watch baseball, we'll go in the baseball whenever, or all my friends, we're always talking about what's happening, current events with baseball, you know, stuff like that. And it creates like competition between us because of who likes who, you know, and who's our favorite player, stuff like that. My favorite baseball player is Justin Upton. I mean, I feel like the reason why I like him even more is because he's very underrated. Like, you know, he's been an outfielder for like, I think around 7 years now. He's been an all-star, and he's a great hitter and amazing fielder, but people like overlook him. And that's why I appreciate him, because he still does what he has to do, and even though he doesn't get the stardom or the fame, he still goes out there and plays his hardest. That's why I look up to him.
Jordan, he's a very good outfielder. He's not the fastest kid on the team. Normally you try to have your fastest player as your center fielder, but he's just a much better outfielder than my fastest players out there. He's very reliable. Very rarely does he misjudge a ball. He's energetic. He's a character, but he does play hard. He plays when he gets on the field. He always gives it his all.
I think some of my strengths would be my passion. Like sometimes, like if something doesn't go my way, like I won't put my head down. You know, like I'll get back in the game. I'll do what I have to do, or at least try to, you know, make an effort to stay in it. I mean, some of my weaknesses probably like sometimes I'm not as focused as I should be. Like I let my mind wander a lot. Maybe you can ask my coach about that, but sometimes I feel like I could be more involved. And that's something I have to work on personally.
He likes to joke around a lot. You never know what he's going to say next. He's very talkative, sometimes when he shouldn't be. I think our relationship has gotten better over the last 2 years. He asks questions when I expect something done a certain way and he doesn't understand it too much, or he thinks he has it and he ends up doing it wrong. You know, he'll ask and we'll try to fix the problem. Very rarely would he make that same mistake again. He's a very smart kid, so he'll pick it up quick.
Every day is a new opportunity. You can build on yesterday's success or put its failures behind and start over again. That's the way life is, with a new game every day, and that's the way baseball is.
Just like last year, I would like to make it back to the championship and hopefully take it home this time. Last year, we did come in second place against a strong Sacred Heart team. Personally, I definitely want to get like stronger and faster, you know, because I see there's kids that are my age, they're already putting balls over the fence, or they're doing things like, that's things I want to do for myself, you know. So that's my goal. For playing baseball, it's permitted that we have to run track for the baseball team. Honestly, if I had a choice, I wouldn't do it, but it does help. I'm not gonna lie about that. The conditioning is very good. It's very tiring. Like, we have to run like 400-meter sprints, and it's not like you could just go. It's like you have to go full speed, the whole time. But like, it does build up a lot of stamina, and it does. A lot of elements of track can help you for baseball, which is why I understand. But it's hard. On the field, before every game, we pray for both sports, just to pray for no injuries, which didn't work really, but you have to pray for stuff like that, you have a good game. Faith plays a pretty big role, for anything when I'm on the field or even at home. People think you have to follow a religion by doing all these things or following these doctrines. Like, you have to believe that God is there to watch you. Faith is something that you have to have within yourself. From the time I was in first grade, my mother, she had me in the CCD religion classes, she had me there, she made me have my communion, stuff like that. So she definitely played a big role in my faith, and she's a strong believer of God too. I'm very close to my mom, she does things that I could never even imagine. She goes to school, she went back to school, late, and she almost has her bachelor's already, and she goes to school like twice, 3 times a week. She takes care of 4 kids. There's one in college. She still sends her money, gives her food, I have 3 sisters, 2 older, 1 younger. My oldest sister is Amanda, then Kayla, and then Alyssa. My oldest sister she just turned 23. The next one just turned 19, and my younger sister is 13. There's a lot of embarrassing pictures. It's definitely my mother who leads in the family. She's able to balance everything together, and she makes life easy for us. She's definitely the one that influences our faith. She's the one that gets us into school. She always tells us, she's like, be thankful. If we are out of line, she'll be like, be grateful. A lot of people don't have this, that. So without her, I know I probably wouldn't be where I am today. And if I did lose her anytime soon, I would definitely be lost. My mother, she's always there for every game, and even my father too, even though they aren't together. They always make it somehow. Either one or the other will be at every game. Every time I need something or I need something for practice, they'll always be there to provide for me. And they always support, they'll never tell me I can't do something. In a prayer, I would simply just, first of all, be thankful for what I do have, because there are a lot of people who are much less fortunate than me. People don't recognize that every day they just go through the motions, and, they groan about things that are so difficult, but other people would beg to have a lifestyle like mine. So I like to thankful for my family, my education, and I'm even able to play sports. In Nazareth, it's a great small environment. It is a school per se, but it's also it's like a community almost. Everybody knows each other, and it's great for learning and friendship. first time being Catholic school. I grew up in Coney Island. I actually went to a public school in Dyker Heights, and then after middle school, I went to Mark Twain, which is also public, for visual media and photography. In public school, I feel like people can get lost easily. You know, like, it's sort of like you don't really know who's who, and there's much more people. Like in Nazareth, I think there's less than like 300 kids, you know, and everybody knows each other, and there's a lot of emphasis on education in college, which definitely attracted me to the school. Yep. Principals list, you have to maintain an 85 in every class and a 90 overall average, and then first honors is an 80 in every class and then an 85 overall. I was on principals list last year and first honors roll, and this year, first quarter, I was on first honor. One thing that I take pride in is really like, I really do love history. Like, that's my favorite subject in school. You know, right at sophomore level, I have AP World History. This is a college level class, and I am taking that. You know, and it's hard. It's a lot of work. You know, much different than Global 1 last year, but I enjoy it a lot, and I love everything about history. I just like seeing like pretty much origins of how we come to be. Like, people really underappreciate it. Like, people think, oh, they're dead, or, you know, what does it matter? But it really does. Everything people have done in the past, even from ancient times, it builds up to now, you know? New inventions, trading, anything. I am looking at a lot of SUNYs, you know, for sports journalism, somewhere along those lines, you know? That's something I'm definitely interested in. Just being like with the cameras, like, you know, now it's like exciting. I would pursue professional sports, but it's not something that comes easy. Like, you know, you have to work hard for that. But I mean, if opportunity comes, you know, I would definitely jump on it, but it's not something that's handed to you, you know. Sports is hard to make a career out of, you know, professionally, which, you know, so I think just my passion for sports anyway, I can use it for something good that I'm good at, you know, talking or discussing sports, and I'm really interested in that, so I think that could make it a career. My dream job would probably be a sports analyst, either, you know, maybe not even big time like ESPN per se, but something like that where I'm able to just talk about things I like, evaluate sports, players. You know, you do have people that can analyze different sports. They are specialized in more than one sport, or people that just simply talk about one specific sport. I mean, I myself, I think I could talk about a couple sports, or, you know, I think I'm pretty much know my way around most sports. I'll be able to discuss almost all of them. You know, that would be probably one of my biggest dreams. I think sports are a big part of my everyday life, not just being on the field, you know, like just every day, you know, that's what every day I have practice of something, you know, either whether it's track now or baseball later. Football teaches me a lot of things, like I said, brothership, and creates a relationship. Like, you know, you can't, like, you know, take someone for granted. Like, you need other people in your life to help you go far. You can't do everything independently. And sports definitely played a big role in my life. They helped me through everything, you know, everything that I do pretty much is based off sports. And I always wanted to play football from a younger age, but my mother never allowed me to, mainly because of the safety factor. And one of my close friends actually, when I was in school with him, he had gotten injured, he had a concussion. When I told her about that, she definitely wasn't gonna let me play. So now, in high school, she finally let me. I guess maybe I'm older now, like I'm not as reckless with my body, like I wouldn't just, you know, go out and do things, you know, without recognizing the consequences.
Football is an honest game. It's true to life. It's a game about sharing. Football is a team game. So is life.
I think probably the best thing that you don't get from any other sport is like the brotherhood almost. It's like when you play football, you need everyone to work together like as a machine. You know, like you play other sports like basketball, one guy could dominate the whole time, and you'll be a good team simply because of one player. Football, you need a bunch of working parts, and that's what I enjoy. You know, I think I bring like a sort of different type of like spirit to the team. You know, like outgoing. You know, I will bring humor sometimes, or even just anything to help the team. You know, and I do work hard. You know, it's not like I'm just there to mess around, just go through the motions. It's much closer than last year. Last year I was much more shy because I was new, so I didn't even talk to any of the captains or upperclassmen. But now I think I'm definitely really close with them. Last year in the summer, I came for like the camp sort of. You know, you just went in, practice, conditioning. You know, I was brand new. You know, I had never played before. It was a good experience though. I played cornerback, defensive position. When you play cornerback, you have to stop receivers from catching the ball, or if necessary, you have to come up on a running play and make a tackle. My hand injury came from, I was returning a kick, I think last week on Saturday in the second quarter, and I picked it up and I tried to run and the kid hit me from the side. So I had the ball here, and the kid's helmet hit me, the impact was here, and he like scraped across my hand. As soon as I got off the field, like I got up and I just jogged off and I looked and it was just, I saw it growing by the second. It was like probably up to here, no exaggeration. Yeah, it was really swollen. They had thought, so they had like a doctor on the sideline and they thought it was broken. But they evaluated it. He said it looks way worse than it really is. It was simply a contusion, a hematoma, just blood vessel damage and a bruise on my bone. I told him, I was like, during halftime, I was like, Coach, he said I can't play. He's like, I wasn't gonna put you in anyway, even if you said you could. I was like, okay. When I was playing basketball, when I was younger, I think around 5th grade, I sprained my ankle really bad, like to the point it almost broke. And I wore like a ACE air cast for like weeks. You know, it was difficult, but no breaks, luckily. It's part of the game. You know, getting hurt will happen in any sport at any time, you know, so you just have to go out there, play as hard as you can, and if you get hurt, you know, you heal up and you go back out there again. You know, like finally when I'm able to get this off, I'm gonna try to just go as hard as I can, because I missed a lot of time, like in the weight room or even running track, which it's lost time, which other people are working out, doing the same things that I can't do right now, so I wanna get to their level or even surpass them. For me, I would just have to be, you know, going as hard as I can, working on my swing any chance I get. And it's not just when I come to school, okay, oh, I got practice. You know, when you go home, you work on these things and you do it. It's like, it's not just a sport, it has to be a lifestyle, and that's how you get better. My biggest goal is to win most improved for football and baseball. That would be the greatest, probably.